I took my first shot at building my own business in 2020 when the pandemic hit. And since then, I have made so many mistakes that I'm going to be talking about in this video so that you guys can potentially benefit from what I have learned about business, building out businesses, and everything like that. So let's get into it. The first thing that I'm going to be talking about is attention to detail. When you build out any business, you want to make sure that you are paying attention to every single last detail, from the type of audience you want to attract, to the terms of service, to the people that you are building the product for, to your actual product itself, to your coaching frameworks, to your education materials, to your curriculum, to the videos that you put out, to the content that you make, to the way that you appear, etc. You want to focus on getting as specific as possible with knowing yourself, and then the business will echo that self-understanding and that self-knowledge. Number two, the second mistake, or the second thing that I really had to learn in entrepreneurship and in business, is knowing how to pace yourself. So personally, I'm somebody that jumps into things, and I can be quite responsive, reactive. I just kind of like go when I'm inspired, and that has led to so many highs in business for me. Like, I follow my intuition and I'll do things that are fun and exciting and just really interesting for me. But I have had to learn how to balance that out with taking the long route and having a plan, you know what I mean, for any business that you enter. So I have had to learn how to be disciplined. I have had to learn how to be patient. I have had to learn how to play the long game. I've had to learn how to be uncomfortable. I've had to learn how to challenge myself and step in and out of my comfort zone when needed. I have had to learn about my comfort zone and what that entails and what it should be and what it shouldn't be. I've had to challenge myself in various avenues, from me being afraid to be judged by others, to discovering what kind of niche I wanted to enter, to challenging my own ideas and whether or not they are still current and relevant to society, to how helpful is this going to be to anybody that comes across it, to what do I want and does it match what I want for other people, all these things. So yeah, I would say that playing the long game would be the second thing that I've had to learn. I've had to learn how to be patient. I've had to learn how to be balanced. I've had to learn how to listen to myself, as well as listen to my potential audience and the clients I want to serve. Number three, I have had to learn how to have literally zero ego. When you start a business, especially if you are in the public eye in some way and you are building a personal brand, you are going to have anybody and everybody watching you, judging you, scrutinizing you, talking about you, your friends, your family, your exes, future exes, like everybody, okay? And this is something to not fear or be afraid of, but it definitely takes practice to get comfortable with being seen and being perceived and being scrutinized and being judged and being talked about. You have to have zero ego, and if you don't have zero ego going into business, you will pretty soon, because that's just the nature of business and building a personal brand. You start from the bottom and you work your way up, and you kind of get people judging the beginning steps of your evolution, but just because they don't believe in you, or just because your immediate environment may not understand you or where you're going, does not mean that you don't have that potential, that seed of potential within you. You know what I mean? So you learn how to quickly not listen to anybody outside of you or anyone else's opinion. You learn how to embrace yourself and accept yourself for how you look, for how you sound, for your personal story and how you got here, for what you want to give to the world, etc. You also learn to kind of embrace every single failure that you experience in life in and of itself, because business is a theory. Life is also a theory. These things are not solidified in anything. They are changeable. They are constantly evolving, just like we are constantly evolving. So any one frame of business can definitely expand depending on who enters that niche. You know what I mean? And business is cross enriching. It kind of has so many different aspects to it, and there's so many different business models. So you can do so many different things as an entrepreneur. You can do pretty much anything you want, you know what I mean? So that's good, but that's also bad, because you have to understand what your goals are, you know, and how far you want to go and in what direction you want to go. And so that's why you cannot listen to any outside noise ever, because people will try to put you in a box or a category of some sort. And if you say yes to that category, you are limiting yourself. And I see this all the time with entrepreneurs. Like, that's why some people fall off, or their business sales like go down, or just the frequency of the success in their business kind of like stagnates, because they fill a certain position, whether that position is of success, right, or whether that position is of failure, or of being a certain way, like a coach, or like a model, or whatever it is. Like, you are not just one way, you can be all the above, you know what I mean? And when society puts you in a box, so often we as entrepreneurs accept that box, and we're like, yeah, like, this is who I am a business coach, and I cannot be anything else for the rest of my life. Like, and then we get into these existential crises, because we want to expand into so much more, we want to be so much more, we want to tap into our fullest potential, which is only increasing, which is only expanding constantly, because that is the nature of the human life, is that we are here to expand spiritually. And so the outer world and our identity will expand along with our consciousness, right? So, you know, we are always expanding. And so if we say yes to any box that society tries to put us in, we can get, you know, bamboozled a little bit. We can kind of feel stuck there, and we can judge ourselves accordingly, that, okay, yes, I am this way, like, I've made this amount of money, you know, or like, I'm a failure, like, I'll never, like, whatever it is, you know. And so we get stuck. And this is important for people to understand not to do, because, you know, you never want to get stuck even for more than 5 minutes. Okay, so, and if you do, then you want to meditate, because when you meditate, if you meditate properly, and if you do it as a practice consistently over time, you'll get really good at it, and you'll be able to kind of erase your identity, you know, like, over and over again. The Buddha says we are born every day, and we should literally live by this, because this allows for us to have freedom in life. This allows for us to constantly be expanding in life. This allows for us to never stay who we were yesterday, you know, never stagnate, or never label ourselves or put ourselves in a box. Very important for our health and happiness and peace, you know. So yes, that's the third thing that I learned when it comes to business: be comfortable being seen and never accept any labels. The fourth thing that I learned in business is that there's literally no end to what you can do. And if you allow emotion to kind of get in the way of anything, you can either do this productively, or you can do this in a way that, like, wastes time. So if you are not able to conquer your mind, you want to actually use what you're going through productively. So speak about your troubles, speak about your failures in business even. Like, don't be afraid to be really raw, authentic, and real with everything that you're going through as the face of your personal brand. Because, like, this step is like, or this lesson is really, really important, because then you're always authentic, you're always you, and you never have to, like, put on a front to your clients or to your audience or to people who watch you. Like, you can just be yourself, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's the most freeing thing about having a personal brand, is that you get to just be you. You don't have to you know, be a certain way, like we talked about in lesson 3. Like, you can continuously be you as you change too. And people may not get you, people may not understand you, but that's not your fault or problem. It's not your problem if people don't understand you, or how well their cognitive level is you know, working. It doesn't matter to you. You're here to do your work, you're here to do your job, you're here to show up authentically and humbly, and that's all you can do, you know. So that was lesson number 4 for me, is that ultimately we can continuously change every day, and we can always do more, you know, and we can use our experiences to further our authenticity. Number 5, stick to the plan. Okay, so it's good to expand into more, it's good to try different things, but if you do not have a mission for your business, if you don't have a initial business framework that you are working off of, then you're just going to let anything and anybody just come in and distract you. And you're going to compare yourself with other personal brands, with other people, with other business models, and you're going to feel like you're falling behind, but you're not falling behind, you know. And so we should never look outside of ourselves for anything, unless it's inspiration. And we can drive inspiration from within, from books, from mentors, you know. We should seek to be inspired. So yeah, it's very important to not look outside of yourself for answers. It's very important to not compare yourself to anyone else. And it's not ideal to look at numbers or statistics to measure your success. Number 6, budgeting. Okay. Super important when starting a business of any kind. You want to make sure you have enough capital to invest into your projects or subscriptions or whatever it is, your SaaS products that you are using to run your business. Like, you want to make sure you have enough capital, because capital is king. No, because yeah, ultimately, like, a large amount of your revenue is going to be reinvested back into your business anyway. So you want to kind of have a clear picture of where everything is going, and you want to lay it out ahead of time. Okay, what is the percentage of revenue that is being allocated back into the business? How much am I paying myself? What are my prices for clients? Like, what are my retainer frameworks? All these things is really important to have, like, a clear budgeting framework as soon as you can. This way, you won't take losses that you won't be able to compensate for, right? And you'll just have, like, a good amount of, like, margins in place. Number 7, being around like-minded individuals and networking. This is the most important thing, and it took me a long time to understand this. If you want to go far, go together. If you want to go fast, go alone. It is imperative that you are yourself authentically, so that you can attract in people who are also themselves authentically and who resonate with you, and who are in your niche or field or space, or who can learn from you and whom you can learn from, right? Networking is extremely important, because this way more opportunities arise when like minds come together. Genius is born when like minds come together, and that's how a lot of projects are born, and that's how they retain success as well. So yes, networking and being around the right people, listening to the right mentors, extremely important. Find or seek a mentor as well, because we are never done evolving, and we must give ourselves that love, of seeking out a mentor that can really help us. So these are my tips for all entrepreneurs. It doesn't matter what you're doing, and if you are not into entrepreneurship yet and you want to start getting into entrepreneurship, hit my link below. I can help you do this. I do one-on-one coaching calls in which I guide my clients to starting their own online businesses. So if that sounds like you, go ahead and hit my link below on my Stan store. I love you very much. Thank you for watching. This was extremely fun. I hope you found this valuable, and I will talk to you in the next video. Peace.